Welcome to another edition of City Watch, where you, our listener, can go behind the walls of City Hall. I'm your host, Bill Schimmers, and today my special guest is City Administrator Matt Brook. Matt, welcome back to the show.
Well, welcome.
Well, hey, so Matt, today we're going to talk about something different, and we're actually doing something really different because we're putting this on YouTube as well. So not only can you hear us on KRS Radio, but you're going to be able to watch this on YouTube because you're going to do a demonstration for us.
That's right, and the great news of the demonstration will be all PowerPoint, so no one has to look at me.
That's another topic by itself. But we're actually talking about something in regards to our strategic plan based on communications, and this is something we're always trying to break some of the barriers down, but it's regarding our OS or support ticket that the public can utilize off our website, which is, by the way, at, correct me here, City of Clinton, Iowa.us. Matt, tell us about the OS ticket and what it does for our community.
You betcha. So just kind of like linking in with the strategic plan and opening those communications both ways. We know how some folks can typically get frustrated with maybe they don't see something being done with a pothole, or they're seeing some hanging trees, or they want to know when a street's going to be done, or it could be as simple as not having your garbage collected for that day. So prior to my coming here, they just finished it up. They have the support or OS ticket system, and we're going to transition now and take the people to a slide so we can kind of direct them a little better.
Perfect.
Our handyman in the booth can help us. But basically, it was not only was a tracking system for the citizens to be able to report things that are going on, but also for our staff. It's very important because, as you had mentioned before the show started, we've had over 9,000
in 3 years.
Yes. Years. And the majority closed. And so what happens is I use Joe Citizen, and I don't think we have anybody in Clinton named Joe Citizen, but as an example today. But just like you said, Councilman Schimmers, if you go onto the webpage, www.cityofclintoniowa.us, and then you click on Contact Us, that little box that will be there right below the nice pictures that will show. And then once in there, basically what you do is you open up a new ticket. Right here, this button here, you click Open New Ticket. In this case, just because we have Brian on a show later on, we use streets and potholes.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that. And then I'm going to use just an example. The key thing that I circled is around the box of where having an email address, because that's so critical to communications is when this processes and goes through the different staff that will take care of it, it will actually come through, give Joe the Citizen an email back saying, hey, this has been corrected, or hey, there might be another question to it. Like it could be the example of the pothole. Hey, did we locate the right one? Has it been completed and filled? Hey, we're having an issue with X, Y, or Z. Have we actually finished those pieces and parts? And so that's very important to fill out the topic. A lot of times what happens, though, is they default and it just comes to me as the administrator, which is fine. But if you start at the top on the help topic, you pick it by doing a little down arrow here, and we filled in streets and potholes. That way it'll be directed to the right location. Get the email address, who the contact is, a good phone number, because in this case, if it is, Brian and his crew from Public Works might want to call them and say, hey, could we meet with you so we could make sure that we are identifying the correct problem. And then, of course, the address of where that might be located at. And then in a little email just to tell us what's going on. And it could even include, hey, Councilmember Schimmers, I'm not available until after 5 p.m. because I work, and that's great. We'll give you an email back or, to be able to meet you in person. So any details that would help. And then that way that gets closed out and saved. But we also keep those because we want to look at trends and patterns that might be forming. If we keep getting the same type of OS ticket and the same piece over and over and over, then we're not doing what we need to do to fix that problem. So we also take a very strong look at, hey, are we getting these in a timely manner, A? B, are we correcting this so we don't have to come back to it? And C, are we being efficient with the time of the citizens that are reporting those?
Or common area for the problem.
Yes.
And I think one of the key, besides obviously communication to the citizens, it does add accountability to the department.
Definitely.
So.
And if we don't know about the problem, we can't do anything to fix it.
Well, and there's a key, because a lot of times instead of putting in Facebook, people maybe should take the time to put it in our system so we're aware of it as well. So, and it does cut down if the problem's noted at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no one here to answer that phone at City Hall. They can put this in
most definitely.
during the graveyard shift or whatever.
And the biggest thing that we talk about with the staff as well is just that follow back. It's so important just to follow back. It's like you may take care of it. Oh, that's done. We're moving on to the next thing. But just letting the citizen know that, hey, that was completed. We get a lot of comments, feedback back that they really appreciate the fact that they got that return call or that return email saying, yep, we've closed this out and this issue has now been solved.
Well, the communication is a two-way street, so it's got to come in, but then it is nice for the citizens to get the feedback that it's been either looked at, completed, or maybe it's something that is takes a little bit longer, but at least they know that we're aware of the problem and that it is being addressed.
Definitely.
Well, Matt, again, we've had 9,000 of these tickets. This plan's been in place for 3 years, and I know Josh, our sound guy, has been very proud that we're now at it. We've worked out all the bugs, and this is moving forward. And it is a good system. I've gone into it a few times, and I think you've even encouraged our council members to all utilize it when we do get some calls come in. So one last bit. Give us the quick rundown of 3 or 4 steps that we need to go. We go to the website.
Go to cityofclintoniowa.us website. Click on Contact Us. Pick the topic area you want. In this case, we use streets or potholes, but it could be others.
Sure.
Make sure you leave a good contact information, especially if you have an email or a good phone number. And then give us the most details of you can. Who, what, when, where, why, how, etc. So that we can make sure we identify what the issue is and then come up with a solution in a timely manner and then get back to you.
And in that process, you're also aware of what's going on because
Yes.
you get to see the big...
I actually review the OS tickets all the time. My staff probably doesn't like that, but I look at them all the time to make sure, because once again, I might have a council member or two or citizen that are reporting
Yeah.
the same thing.
Correct.
So then we can take those 6, now they become 1, now we solve the problem, now we get the information out to those 6.
And 2 or 3 things are now accomplished under one. So, well, Matt, I appreciate your time. I know it's a busy morning, so we'll let you get back to doing your job, and
Gotcha.
I appreciate it. So, thank you.
You betcha.
Until next time, thank you.